Hey you guys, it's me Lemo from ADHD Aquatics, and today we are going to be working in the fish room. Here I'm trying to cut some of these pots up, just taking a look at this tank right here, and baby ADHD, he's far enough away I don't think that he'll get hurt from this operation. I got my glasses on. I'm going to feed some fish. I don't know what's wrong with these guys. I think maybe they don't like me. We had some problems feeding the last couple days. I think they're still just getting adjusted. And I know I put way too much in. Don't worry, I ended up going back in and getting that out. The Dremel ended up being too loud for the baby, so I cut a little bit of that pot and then couldn't finish cutting it. So I'm going to try again tomorrow once I have Mr. ADHD here to help me out. He can hang out with Waylon while I go in the basement and cut those pots. So I don't think the fish have figured out to come to the front of the tank for food yet, because they're in new tanks now. I mean, they seem happy and healthy. Maybe I'm feeding them the wrong pellet, or I know I definitely fed them too much. I need to count out their pellets, maybe like 3 pellets, 4 pellets. Don't worry, I went in later and sucked them all up. Maybe those pellets are too big for them. I'm not sure. Pardon the horrible angle here. This one finally came to the front. It was all the way in the back for like a day, but it's not so shy anymore. These gold rams are really beautiful. Yellow labs are doing good. They've always been skittish like this. I can feed them a lot because they're pretty big. Well, the one male is pretty big. And they'll pick through and actually eat through the sand and everything. I only give like 2 pellets to the endlers. And here's the little shrimps and mystery snails. I ended up finding both of those female guppies in that one tank with the endlers. The flagfish are out and about and a little bit more social and less scared, which is good. I've been seeing them picking at the algae. They haven't come over to eat any pellets yet, but I put pellets in for the assassin snails. And there's one high fin platy left from the apocalypse, the fish apocalypse. I don't know how that one survived. The blue acars are pretty skittish, but they will eventually come and eat the pellets. I can't wait to spawn these guys. And I'm doing a water change on this pleco tank because I noticed the water was cloudy. The cats snuck in the fish room. They pushed the door open while I was nursing the baby. Water change in the Dojo Loach's tank because the water was cloudy also. Here's one of my favorite tanks again. I'm overfeeding this tank on purpose because I want to grow the snails in there. You can see how much flow I have with this water change system. I closed all the other 40 breeders and just opened up that one tank, which I love that I can do that. I can just water change one tank if I want. Now pardon this this video work here. I was literally holding the phone in my mouth, and I really wanted to show you guys my new hose that I made. This is a length of python hose which I cut, which that's my favorite type of hose because of how pliable it is, and it's not like really rigid and hard and crunchy and gross. And then I have this uplift tube that I got from Jehmco. It fits on their box filters. I can put the link to the specific tubing in the description below. But it slid right into the python hose. I didn't even need a hose clamp or anything. And I decided I want to go bare bottom with these rams tanks. So I'm up here sucking out all the sand. And I'm holding the phone in my mouth. So and watching the baby at the same time. There's a pump down in that bucket that has a sponge on it so I don't suck up any gravel, and it only sucks up the dirt and yucky stuff, and I have to climb down repeatedly to unclog that sponge. So smash like for the effort on this one. Now I did it on all the tanks up here. The very last one, I ended up sucking up a rock and losing my siphon, and I was like, okay, that's enough for today. We will finish up later. This tank I'm gonna have to scoop out with like a cup or something. So now I'm just filling the water back up. So the rams are getting a water change. And now it's later that night, a few hours later, and it's time to feed some mysis shrimp and bloodworms to the black rams. I'm trying to fatten them up like Scheller said. I'm trying to give them only a little bit of bloodworms at a time, but my turkey baster here has seen better days. It's been a long time since I've used this. I need one of those no drip turkey basters, I think, because I was struggling to get just like a little bit to come out, and a lot came out, so I'm gonna have to go in there and do a water change tomorrow. He did not seem fazed at all by these worms. I tried to splash him around a little bit with the turkey baster, and he just wasn't having it. So I don't know how to get them to eat. I guess they just have to take some time to get comfortable with me. Here's the second tank. She's back there under the heater in the back left. I might eventually scrape all the calcium off of these tanks. The only reason they're like that is because I let them evaporate for like a year. So maybe if I scrape it off, it won't come back, and I can have some nice clear tanks for a while. And here's the second female. I think she ends up eating some of the worms I squirted in there. It's kind of hard for me to film up on the top shelf, you guys. Sorry. No, she didn't see any of the worms I put in. At least she has clean water and warm water. That's all I can say. Here's the second male. I think he ended up eating some. I don't remember. Let's see. Yeah, he got some. I squirted it right in front of his face. And then I don't know how to get the other ones to eat. I think the first male is just like pitching a fit because he's in a new tank or something. He hates his new tank. Maybe I can move him to a different tank. Maybe swap him in one of the gold rams. I'm going to give some to the yellow labs because I want them to grow up and actually start spawning for me too, even though I only have one female. I don't know how that's going to go, but I really want to be able to start producing these guys. They're pretty popular in my area. And the flagfish are still out and about. You can see 2 in the back left and 2 in the front. So that's 4, and we have 6. So let me know if you find the 5th and 6th one in this shot. I was just looking through the phone, so I don't remember if I saw the 6th one or not. But they've been picking at the algae. I've been watching them. And I swear I just saw a pleco tail in that little spike there, and I didn't even know there was a pleco in this tank still. I thought I pulled him out, or she. So I'm going to put this in the brown bristlenose pleco tank. You see his tail in there? And he's got like a little piece of lava rock or something in there too with him. But he doesn't belong in that tank. I think I put him in there to clean up some algae. I'm going to put him in here because I want these guys to breed. Hopefully I can sell these in my area. The little baby bristlenoses. I have an albino in here. Does anyone know why this pleco looks like this? I pulled it out of the Starry Night tank, and I was thinking, oh no, not the Starry Night tank. I pulled it out of this tank with the rainbow fish. I was thinking maybe it got damaged or something, but I don't know why it's like kind of white and gray like that. And then I want to fatten up the rainbows also. They are the only fish in here, other than a couple autosynclists. There might be a couple pygmy corridoras left, and then there's a bunch of amano shrimp in here. So we have to make a spawn and mop for these guys and get them going. I imagine I'll move them between this tank and a 20 high